Hello, folks. The time is now 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so we will get started. First and foremost, welcome. Welcome new students, their family, guardians, support, family. Welcome to Toronto Metropolitan University, and welcome to the new students webinar. We hope you find the session very helpful. Let's talk about your next steps. So before we get started, in case you're not familiar with navigating Zoom, I know we are coming off of a pandemic, and so many of us would have likely been using Zoom, but I don't want to make that assumption. So you have at the bottom of your screen, if you are using a desktop computer or a cellular device, a question and answer button that looks like a little um, dialog box with a question mark inside. Through there, we have a host of wonderful volunteers ready to answer your questions. Or alternatively, I can answer your questions live. A couple of notes about our Q&A. All questions are welcome. We look forward to answering them for you to help you prepare for September. We do ask that you wait for the specific topic to come up before asking your question. And also double check if others have asked the same question as you to avoid duplication and delay getting your response. And the other feature that you may find useful is the closed caption feature for transcription of of what I'm saying to you today. All right, let us get started. I want to welcome you into the space by doing a land acknowledgement. Toronto Metropolitan University sits on the land of the Dish with One Spoon territory, and the Dish with One Spoon is a treaty or a wampum between the Anishinaabe, the Mississaugas, and the Haudenosaunee that bound them to share the territory and protect the land. Subsequent Indigenous nations, peoples, Europeans, and all newcomers have been invited into this treaty in the spirit of peace, friendship, and respect. And I wanted to draw your attention to the parallels of our responsibility as treaty people and that of your responsibilities as an incoming student to Toronto Metropolitan University. So this specific wampum is more than an agreement, it's an obligation and a responsibility. The land, represented by the bowl, provides for us, but it's up to us to take only that which we need so that there's left over for the community around us, and to treat the land with respect because it nurtures us all. And that nourishment and sharing and collaboration is represented by the spoon. In building a parallel, TMU can be seen as the bowl, a university having resources for learning, for community, for social engagement, and it does its best to provide equitable access for all. It's our obligation as members of TMU to take every learning opportunity that we can, to support one another, to share resources, and to enter learning in balance with each other, all of which is represented by the spoon. And so, as this is a reciprocal relationship, I once again welcome you into the space, and I'll get us started by telling you a little bit more about the Service Hub and the Office of the Registrar. The Office of the Registrar is part of a larger department of the Office of Vice Provost Students that includes student well-being, student affairs, athletics and recreation, international student enrollment, education, and inclusion, all of which are here to support you. For the Service Hub specifically, we're an integrated one-stop shop for the registrar's office and support students in a variety of ways, from undergraduate admission to student fees, MyServiceHub assistance in navigating my.toronto.mu.ca, various letters, financial assistance, and of course, enrollment into continuing education courses. And today, we're going to cover quite a number of things to help you get started and prepared for September. First things first, we'll talk about your first steps as a newly admitted student. We'll talk about navigating MyServiceHub, as it's a tool you'll frequently reference throughout your degree. We'll talk about viewing and changing your schedule and navigating D2L Brightspace, which is our learning management system, and understanding your fees account, as well as how to fund your studies, before talking about next steps. So first things first, if you haven't already, confirm your offer by accepting it, pay your tuition deposit, and meet your admission conditions. Once you've done that, we can very warmly say welcome to TMU as a new student. The new student webpage has a variety of information from important dates to a fall term checklist to contacts and various resources. When you navigate through it, you'll notice things like the checklist for your fall term startup that has a variety of information from applying to scholarships to updating your chosen or preferred name, attending pre-orientation workshops, paying your tuition fees, enrolling in classes, and attending orientation, many of which we're going to talk about today. And one of the very first things that students ask as they shift over from applicant to student is, how do I set up my TMU email account? And so I'm pleased to tell you that in late July or early August, you'll automatically be prompted to create a TMU username and set up your student email address when you log into my.torontomu.ca. And so after you've created your username, you have two ways to access your inbox. You may either do it through your my.torontomu.ca by clicking on the Apps tab and then navigating over to Gmail, or you can bookmark gmail.torontomu.ca for easy and quick access. Any communication sent from your instructors, your program department, or the school in general will be sent to your TMU email address. And you should send any emails to the school from your official school email account. The other very important tool that you need is your One Card. Your Student One Card is your official student identification that grants you access to buildings, campus services like library or printing, different discounts as well throughout the city. And you can also use it as a payment card to purchase products and services on campus, from meal plans to a parking pass to printing and more. You can apply for your One Card on the One Card website starting August 1st and all the way through to August the 23rd. And after August the 26th, which is the week of orientation, you'll be able to pick up your One Card. New this year, and I'm excited to share, your One Card is digital. Once added to your Apple or Google Wallet, you can tap your iPhone, Apple Watch, Samsung, or other eligible Android device at any reader across campus to conveniently use your digital One Card to access buildings. And so in addition to your digital One Card, just keep in mind that you'll also need to pick up a physical One Card to be used as identification during exams, tests, and other assessments. Okay, you've got your identification, you've got a way to communicate. Now let's talk about navigating MyServiceHub. MyServiceHub is basically like your individual independent service hub, easily navigable at your fingertips. To get there, you're going to start by logging in at my.torontomu.ca and selecting the tab titled My Service Hub. In there, you will see first you'll have a pop-up, so please make sure that your pop-ups are enabled for the My Service Hub menu. And there you'll see 9 tiles. Let's talk about some of these tiles. First up, we have Student Center. In your Student Center, you can add, drop, swap courses, you can view your schedule, your grades, your academic standings, review your financial account, and update personal and contact information. The nice thing about this specific tab is it sums up most of what the other tabs offer as well. So if in doubt, click Student Center. Next up, we have academic records. Here you can view your advisement report to determine what's next in your curriculum. You can review your grades, your standings. You can change plans or majors, view your course history, and down the line, apply to graduate. Under Manage Classes, this is where you add, drop, swap classes, put them in your cart in preparation for enrollment, and so much more. In your financial account, you can complete a financial account inquiry, check your balance, what's due, what have you paid, get access to a variety of statements like your fees and enrollment statement, as well as your tax slips. Under My Communications, you'll see a list of communications sent to you by the registrar's office, various areas like admissions, because right now that is where your offer of admission lives, as well as student records and curriculum advising. The profile section allows you to update your various components of your profile from your name to your contact details and address. The financial aid section allows you to view your scholarships, awards, and bursaries issued to you directly by TMU and when the funds are expected to be deposited into your MyServiceHub account. The one thing to note about this particular section is it's separate from your OSAP loans. For any details about your OSAP loans or grants, please access it directly through your OSAP portal. And lastly, we have eForm Center, where there's a variety of digital forms that you can use to pay for a variety of different services and supports on campus as well. So now that we better understand the various components of MyServiceHub, let's talk about viewing and changing your schedule. New students admitted into their first year of a full-time undergraduate program by July are automatically enrolled into their fall and winter term required courses. And so your class schedule will appear on your Student Center and MyServiceHub. You can view your schedule on MyServiceHub by navigating over to Manage Classes or also Student Center. As I said, it's a multi-purpose tile. And then navigate over to your My Weekly Schedule section to be able to view your classes, when they are, where they're located, and more details like who your instructor is and what the full course title is as well. And so you can change your schedule during open enrollment. So your enrollment period as incoming first year students will be August 7th to September the 13th, and you must enroll into your elective fall term courses. You can also adjust your fall term course schedule as you need to. And then August 19 to September 13, you can amend your winter term schedule, so the one starting in January. If you miss this, don't fret. You can do this again in November as well. Some tools for enrollment to help you um, more easily navigate the process include the undergraduate calendar, which is Toronto Metropolitan University's official record of all undergraduate programs, courses, significant dates, and related policies. The MyServiceHub support site, which offers a variety of tutorials on assisting students in navigating MyServiceHub. And that includes tutorials like how to enroll, how to view your advisement report, how to view your transfer credit report if it's applicable to you, and so much more. And third is the Chang School of Continuing Education. The Chang School offers a variety of degree credit courses for your program. You simply have to add the letter C before searching the course code. So for example, ASL 101, which is Introductory American Sign Language, is offered in person by the Faculty of Arts. You can take the same course with added C in front, so C ASL 101, virtually through the Chang School, and both would be considered under your degree. Now, something to keep in mind, Chang School courses offer flexibility in your schedule. Courses are offered virtually or in evenings, so absolutely more flexibility for you. The one thing to note is that course enrollment dates, payment deadlines, drop or swap deadlines do differ from undergraduate courses. And so before you enroll, I strongly urge you to review the Chang School's important dates page first. And please know that you're not alone in this. We know that enrollment is a busy time all around. And so in early August, your new program department will send you additional information about getting started. So please check your new TMU inbox. You're enrolled in your classes, and now let's talk about navigating D2L, which is your learning management system. To access D2L, you're going to once again log into my.toronto.mu and navigate over to the Online Courses and Organizations tab. This will lead to a pop-up window. Again, make sure your pop-ups are enabled. That will lead you to select your courses. And from there, when you click a specific class, you'll be able to see a screen similar to this one. The screen includes a variety of information that might change a little bit in the titling, but is the same basic info. So course materials or content provides you details, course-specific details and resources from your instructor. The Grades tab allows you to view your grades for various assessments and assignments. The Assessment tab has a variety of options, so you can view your grades, but you can also view your progress in the course, the assignment details, any checklists that your instructor has set up, or self-assessments. The communication tab allows for you to view announcements from your professor, but also to participate in collaborative discussion boards or collaborate with groups of students within your class. And lastly, the resources section, again, also links you over to content or course materials, gives you access to library e-reserves of various information um, directly funneled from the TMU library, calendar of significant dates for the course, and any other relevant links. The one thing to keep in mind as well is D2L course sites are under the purview of your professors. So after you enroll into the course, um, they'll slowly start to appear. However, they can appear as late as the first week of classes. So please be patient. And if you need any support in navigating D2L, there are a variety of tutorials available on the LMS support site. You're enrolled in classes, you understand how to navigate your course site. Now let's talk about fees and how to pay. So understanding your fees account requires that first we log into MyServiceHub and go through our financial statement. So complete an account inquiry. Option 1 is through the financial account and option 2 is through Student Center. So let's do an example through Student Center. When you log in, you're going to navigate down to the student fees section where you'll see a variety of small menu hyperlinks, account inquiry, tax slips, fees and enrollment statements, so on, as well as an account summary telling you what your balance is, positive if it's owing and negative if you have a refund. You're going to select the account inquiry link, and from there you'll be able to view your account summary page. When looking at your summary page, you see your total balance. And when you click on a specific semester, you will then be able to see the details of that semester, including the full account balance, the specific items, the terms that you're being charged for, the amount, as well as your final balance. Now, you might wonder, that's a long list. What's actually included in my fees? Three components make up your fees. First and foremost, we have tuition. It's mandatory, covering instructional and academic program costs and general operating costs for the university. And tuition is charged based on three residency categories. So you'll either be charged domestic Ontario, domestic out of province, or international fees. Next up, we have our ancillary fees. These are also mandatory and also are tied with your enrollment, course enrollment. And your ancillary fees support programs, services, and facilities outside of academic programming. And that includes things like athletics, clubs, unions, and more. And lastly, and this one is optional, is your health and dental plan. It's your very own private insurance. And students can choose to opt out if they have their own private insurance already set up. And that's done through your student union. So either the Toronto Met Student Union or the Toronto Met Association for Part-Time Students. And so you can look out for an email from them about opting out in September. Let's talk about the tuition fee rates. So as I mentioned, our tuition is divided into three residency-based rates. First up, we have domestic Ontario for students who are residents of Ontario before starting at TMU, who are either Canadian citizens, permanent residents, or convention refugees. The domestic out of province is for students who reside outside of the province or territory, reside in a province or territory outside of Ontario. And international students are students who don't fall in either of these two categories, um, or who can't provide documentation confirming eligibility um, for an international fee exemption. So more details are available about this on the tuition and fees page. Now, you might wonder what your estimated tuition fees will be. And so we're going to look at the undergraduate tuition and fees page for an example. First and foremost, you're going to locate your immigration status or your residency status and click on that specific accordion to open it. When you open it, you'll see a list of programs and you divide it up into various years, year 1 through 4, with generalized fees of what approximately you will be paying. So locate your program and click the hyperlinked name to open up a spreadsheet with a breakdown of fees. So this is an example chart of the accounting and finance program. As you can see, there's multiple things to look at here. We have 4 tabs for the various years, but also you'll see it divided by semesters. So fall 2024 and winter 2025. And your total fees are determined by the number of courses in which you're enrolled. So 5 to 7 courses, for example, are one bulk price. And on your own fees and enrollment statement, to differentiate what fee rate you're being charged, you can look for various codes like tuition UGRD, meaning tuition undergraduate, tuition UGRD OOP for tuition undergraduate out of province, or tuition UGRD international. So that you better understand what your statement is telling you. And if you have a change in residency and you need to update your fee rates, please visit the fee rates page for full details and instructions on how to do just that. In talking about tuition and fees, let's talk about funding your studies. So undergraduate tuition payment is due Friday, September 27th for fall 2024 and Friday, January 24th, 2025 for winter start. So you have a number of options. First is the entrance scholarship. Current Ontario high school students are eligible and automatically considered for this specific scholarship. And if you are eligible, you'll be notified via your communication center. And funds are deposited to your student account in early September. You can also apply for awards and various award scholarships and bursaries if you're not necessarily eligible for the guaranteed and renewable entrance scholarship. And you can do that by applying through Award Spring. Start by creating a personalized profile for yourself so that the system will then narrow down and filter for you specific scholarships, bursaries, and awards for which you can apply. And third, as an option for Ontario residents, you can apply for the Ontario Student Assistance Program. Specific to the Ontario Student Assistance Program, a couple of things to note. So if there's nothing else you take away, here are 4 tips. First, apply early. It can take 3 to 6 weeks for documents to be reviewed. Second, if you've applied for OSAP through your OUAC, we encourage you to unlink and apply through the OSAP portal instead. And the reason being because your OUAC will eventually expire, and that causes some trouble for folks to be able to re-access their OSAP portal. Third, set up online communication and forums to avoid delays. Don't want to be delayed in your application because of a Canada Post strike, for example. And fourth, once you've applied, check your email and OSAP Message Center regularly. If you have a registered education savings plan set up by your family or your guardians, you may be required to confirm your enrollment at TMU in order to access your savings. And there's 2 letters that you can use to do that. First is a verification of enrollment for new students, and the second one is a proof of enrollment letter for current students. So while you're presently, you haven't started your program just yet, you can request a verification of enrollment letter anytime between now and July the 19th. You can do so after you've accepted your offer of admission. The letter will be released to you to a MyCreds Learner portal, and instructions will be shared with you via email once the letter is ready. But the letter will be released to you only after you've satisfied your admission conditions. And the deadline, as I mentioned, to request this letter is July the 19th, so this coming Friday. Now, in August, once you've completed your enrollment, you can instead request a proof of enrollment letter for current students. And this is your opportunity to have very similar details in the letter, but this confirms specific courses that you're in, for example, the hours of contact, your program of study, and more. And this letter will be shared with you via the MyCreds Learner portal as well within 1 to 2 business days of you placing the request. And you can request it at any time. The way to request a letter, again, is to log into your my.torontomu.ca and select the My Service Hub tab to get to your student center. You can either do it through Student Center or your academic records. One of the menu options is request a letter. Another option for funding your studies is getting a job on campus. The Career Boost program is TMU's work study program that provides our students, whether you're international or domestic, undergraduate or graduate, with hundreds of paid work experiences every year. Regardless of your program and year of study, TMU has a diverse set of student job opportunities available for you. And so what's next? You've gotten yourself set up. What is left to be done? The easiest way to put it is getting connected to campus, right? Get set up with academic accommodation support. If, for example, you had an IEP in high school, attend orientation, access various student learning support and student well-being services, um, and connect with your program department or faculty. Yes, they'll reach out to you, but you're also welcome to reach out to them. So in speaking of orientation, we have the Summer Jumpstart program that's running from July the 8th to Friday, August the 16th. And it's offered by the Student Life and Learning Support Team, where there will be events, workshops, and other experiences for you, your parents, supporters, guardians, to help you better prepare for the transition into first year. You also have orientation week from Sunday, August 25th to Monday, September 2nd. Orientation gives you the chance to connect with new students, get familiar with different services and supports available to you on campus, and just generally get familiar with getting around campus. It really is designed to meet the needs of all new students, especially those going into their first year. And each year they have a variety of events and programs, anything from academic program and faculty specific orientation to informations about how to access on-campus supports and resources to social activities, engaging performances, concerts, and so much more. There are also a variety of campus departments that would be very helpful to you to get familiar with. This is a very short list of them. First, as I mentioned before, academic accommodation support. Um, they provide resources, education, training, and direct services like an academic accommodation plan for students with disabilities to give you equal access or equal opportunity to access and participate in your studies. Indigenous Student Services. They orient Indigenous students to the university environment. They offer career mentoring, peer support, writing workshops, um, traditional counseling, some various scholarships, awards, and bursaries, and so much more. International Student Support welcomes first year students. One of the very first things you're welcome to do is attend a welcome appointment. You also have access to immigration advising and support, action plan advising for a variety of reasons like academic, financial, social transitioning, so on. Housing and residence life, if you're considering living on campus, they're the place to go to find out more about um, how to get set up, what's available, um, and there are various reasons and resources available for those who choose to live on in residence. If you're interested in off-campus housing, they also have a separate department for that that will get you oriented to the Toronto rental market, that will let you know your rights as a tenant, and so much more. We also have student life and learning support that builds diverse communities to support you as a learner. Anything from study skills to tutoring, writing language support, math and computer science support, and more. Student success navigators at TMU. If you're not sure where to go or who to ask, student success navigators can help point you in the right direction. We also, as I mentioned, have two student unions, depending if you're a full-time undergraduate student or a part-time one, and they participate in academic advocacy. They offer various equity services. The health and dental plan, as I mentioned earlier, they have a variety of clubs and student unions that you can choose to participate in. They have legal services and tax clinics and just so much more. And of course, your academic department would also be a wonderful resource for you because they're able to support you with things like course selection, academic advising, connect you with support services, host orientations and workshops throughout the year, and so much more. And of course, should you need us, we're around. Feel free to reach out to us at the Service Hub by visiting our website, visiting us on campus, or calling us. And so, with that, I thank you all very much for your attention this evening. Um, and we will stick around to continue answering questions um, as we go along. I will lean on my colleague Gavin to give me a couple of questions to answer verbally as well.
Can you just talk a little bit of more detail about the individual education plan and how students would register with academic accommodation support?
Absolutely. Academic accommodation support is a standalone department. They have an intake process, so you can reach out to them. There are two intake processes, and they would be more than happy to talk you through the process. You can visit them by visit their website by going to torontomu.ca/accommodations.
Next question, can you speak a little bit about verification of enrollment and proof of enrollment letters and how they're used?
Absolutely. They're most frequently used for students who need to access funding, usually through their banks. Not everybody needs a proof of enrollment or a verification of enrollment letter. This is more, again, if you have a savings plan and the bank needs proof of enrollment, basically to release that funding. Those letters confirm that you're enrolled, what program you're studying, and um, the length of the program, the details specific about things like course hours or your enrollment being full-time or part-time, so on. Um, if you're an international student support offers a status letter, but that one, and it has similar details, but that one is specific for immigration purposes. So if you're looking to renew your study visa, or you're looking to get a postgraduate work permit, that letter may better suit your needs.
Another one, can you speak a little bit about how electives are chosen and what students do to go about taking a minor?
Ooh, wonderful question. They're all wonderful questions. Um, you can navigate your specific program's curriculum by visiting the undergraduate calendar. So that's torontomu.ca/calendar. On there, you'll be able to locate your program and the specific courses that you'll need to take within your program. And that includes tables like Table A, Table 1, that are specific to liberal study courses. And you can go through the list and find courses that interest you. On that undergraduate calendar is also a section specific to minors. So you can pick a minor that's different from your program or your major. So for example, you could be doing accounting and finance, since that was the example I gave earlier, and want to do a minor in philosophy. Then you'd locate the philosophy minor and locate the various courses available to you, and you can match them to those liberal study courses. So for example, Table A or Table 1, and do they match what you need to take to fulfill a philosophy minor? And then at the end of your studies, when you go to apply to graduate, that is when you would declare your minor and have it confirmed.
Okay,
These are
and
great
one last
questions.
question. Can
Mhm.
you speak a little bit about co-op and how and when students discuss co-op with their program departments?
Yeah, absolutely. So depending on your program of study, you can apply as early as first year or the end of your first year or early in your second year. The Career and Co-op Career Co-op and Student Success Center, apologies, has lots of information about how to apply for the co-op program, the requirements, and how to then get started in participating. There are faculties that have their own independent career and co-op center. For example, if you're a student in the Ted Rogers School of Management, then you have the Business Career Hub. And so instead of applying through the Career Co-op and Student Success Center, you're going to apply to the Business Career Hub. But again, all of this information is available on the Co-op Careers and Student Success site. These are wonderful questions. Any other ones coming up? I mean, I know there are lots coming up, but any other ones I can answer verbally?
Can you just go over again a little quick summary of the one card application and pickup process?
Absolutely. Starting August the 1st, you're going to be able to submit your application for a one card. It starts by submitting a picture, but there are more details to confirm your identity. And then, um, and you'll be doing that between August the 1st and August the 23rd. And then starting the week of August the 26th onward, you'll be able to pick up your one card. And once you've submitted your application, the one card office will send you a confirmation and details about how and when to pick up your one card.
Thank you so much, Nina.
My pleasure. These are great questions, folks. Thank you again for joining us. I will go off camera now and I'll help my colleagues in answering your questions. You're welcome to scroll through other people's questions and the answers we've provided so far, or you can stick around and we will do our best to answer as many questions as we can before 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I wish you a wonderful rest of your day. And again, we look very much forward to seeing you this coming fall.